Hello my fellow hunters. Today we look to the future as the Autumn Festival is almost upon. And it actually looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. A decked out gathering, a hub of orange eclectic glow. We have ourselves the Moscal, now known as Harvest Armor, to earn towards, and while the male looks significantly better than the female, for fuck's sake, it is going to be both an actual armor set with skills and slots that are not worth writing home about. They are both going to be layered to increased fashion potential. And actually, I do value fashion potential a lot more on the console versions than the PC, because with PC, with mods, you can look however you want, even to other people. So whether you agree that that's something you should be able to do, well, that's a whole discussion, but the fact is you can. So layered armor is like, so, every armor's layered for PC. Honestly, the trivialization of layered armor on PC is one of the main forefront reasons that mods might get a clamping down on. But either way, not the point of the video. It's exciting to have new stuff. The recent Guild Cross layered is really fantastic as well for just that purpose. I'm a big fan of my new look. Then, of course, we're getting a new Poogie who's being eaten by a pumpkin, which looks fantastic. The handler is trying a new look. It's not for me, but, you know, it's a style that a lot of people do like, so fair enough, and you'll be able to permanently have her like that for a small fee after the event is finished. The event starts in, well, less than a week, the 21st, and we have it for 2 weeks. And then the main draw, I think, for many is the return of essentially every single event quest, including now, finally, for everyone, the USJ ones. So you can get yourself the fabulous crit element alternative to the ghastly-looking Rathalos set. We also have a new quest to get a layered armor of both the Mosswine and Feline helmet, because, I mean, I guess have fun with that? But the focus of today then is a little bit of a look to the future. So let's start with PC and it catching up on the content of consoles. We have the sort of idea it's going to be getting content at twice the rate that console did, so rocket-powered greatsword soon, please! So it will mean that we are synced up around Christmas, January-ish, assuming that maintains pace. So because of that, right, it's hard to imagine a world where the PC gets the Autumn Festival. In fact, there's no reason to think it will, no confirmation, and really everything so far implies that it won't. And that's kind of sad, right? Because surely this would mean that the PC players don't get a, like I would say, like, the PC players, like, it's like you're all watching this, like, I'm right here, I can hear what you're saying, why are you talking about us like we're not here? You know what I mean. Either way, you PC players are, well, gonna have to wait till spring to get your first festival event, which is really quite a long time for such a landmark one. Because we got the spring festival along with Culves, there was still many stuff to come after that, whereas this might end up being quite the drought. So I do actually wonder if the release schedule will be even more accelerated than it looks to be, and the first synced festival is actually winter, because there's no doubt we'll get one. We're going to get one for every season, presumably every year on loop. So the winter festival in probably December, there's a good chance you might have caught up with console content by then, and then we could have a double synced every event quest, which I think is the best way to do it, right? It's kind of irritating having both versions at different stages with different event quests and different unlocks. It's just, Especially for anyone who's going to PC from consoles and just wants all their stuff back, but obviously it is important to still give PC-only players that sense of progression and updates that we had, so it's a fine balance to walk, and by December seems like it might be doable, it might be okay. Then we can sync up with the Winter Festival, because waiting till spring seems like a long-ass time, because really, the seasonal festivals are the gamut in the room when it comes to the disparities between the versions, because they're not technically reliant on updates, right? So there is always the chance that out of nowhere there is an Autumn Festival Lite for PC players that, yes, has every event so far unlocked, though that's not many, just to at least have the visual change and maybe jump skip to getting the Harvest Armor without having everything previous, right? That's not the worst thing in the world, and certainly possible. And I am curious as to you guys' opinion on this. If you are a PC player, are you well aware of everything that's to come? Have you been following World? Have you been keeping up with it on consoles, just unable to play yourself? Or are you just completely blind and something like Devil Joe was, whoa? Because that, I mean, I'm jealous if it was, but I feel like that's gotta be the minority, right? That makes sense to me. And then past that, right, we are hurtling faster than is comfortable to me towards the year mark of it being released initially. And that's kind of insane. Time absolutely flies when you spend every minute of every day making Monster Hunter World videos. And we have only 2 confirmed actual meaty new monster updates left to get. Oroshi Kirin and Alatreon. They were both on the leaked list that has been 100% accurate so far. It didn't have Behemoth, of course, but you know, that was a crossover, and I'm going to assume that that wasn't even planned back then, so that is fair enough. I don't think it discredits it at all. So when it comes to Oroshi Kirin and Alatreon, it's an interesting one, because Oroshi Kirin you would expect to come out around, well, the Winter Festival. It's an ice monster, and by the way, we have Geratados as the only water monster. Just garbage. And then Legiana, while beautiful, will at least be joined finally by Oroshi Kirin with his icy shenanigans, which I can only imagine are going to look just beautiful in World's Magnificence. But if we do get it around Christmas, around Winter Festival, December time, that means a long period without any, well, fully new rah-rah to kill. And I doubt that's gonna happen, right? The PC and Extreme Behemoth and Arch-Tempered and, well, the Autumn Festival, they've all done a really good job of tiding people over, but there's definitely trickles of, I'm ready for the next thing coming through. And I kind of feel like we'll get it sooner. A part of me feels like they might sneakily put in old Orochi at the end of the Autumn Festival, like they did with Kulve and Spring, and really get those hype thrusters to full burn once more. And then after that, towards Christmas, we get our first Black Dragon in World. The second strongest monster, just full stop, Alatreon, the
master of all 4 elements
and lord of ridiculous horn design himself. This surely has to be the most eclectic moment in World, the most potent, powerful, and epic update. He has to come with a new map, a new battle arena, perhaps not as extensive as the Caverns of El Dorado, but certainly something to match his majesty. Just shoving him onto recess seems like a really anticlimactic way to sell him. He cannot be understated. Black dragons, of which there are 3+ subspecies, stop typing a comment about Frontier, are the upper echelons, the highest tier, almost gods of Monster Hunter. So seeing how he is going to be achieved in World is going to be incredible. I hope it racks the game with changes. I hope his weather controlling chaos passively affects the zones and we get thunderstorms and rains and hellfire, and it unstables the environments for a few weeks just to really mark his coming. It would be be Crisis, a black dragon come to die in the new world. Oh, I am excited for it, and anyone who has not played the previous games, non-veterans, or anyone who indeed has just not fought Alatreon, you are in for a treat, a very, very painful treat. I mean, you have Oroshi Kirin as well. He does not take prisoners either, so the last two monsters are going to leave, I imagine, a very strong mark. But past that then, in the second year of the 2 years they initially promised to commit support for, though I imagine that might be revised with its success, well, what's going to happen? Now, on PC, of course, we have mods, which endlessly add longevity and extra content to the game, though for some reason when it comes to Monster Hunter, it seems like there is a really huge sect of, look, I don't want to say close-minded, but I kind of do, of people that hear the word mod and just go, fuck this, what? Like, fucking heresy, why would I want that filth? Oh, I don't want anything to do with that. And look, I get it to an extent. If I see a amazing looking armor set with incredible skills and I find that it's modded, then whatever. It's not official, it might get taken away, it might be a little bit overtuned, I might feel like I'm cheating, and other people that don't have the mod aren't even going to see the armor, so little inspiration. And that I can totally get behind. But something, well, like the recent one I did, fighting a thunder-infused lightning Rathalos, who cares that it's not real, air quotes? It's a fun little extra experience, and even at worst, it's kind of a, yeah, that's cool. And maybe that's not worth the time to at least install it, drag the files around for you, but surely it's something that can be appreciated, and that's going to be consistent. And the thing is, they have talked about adding official mod support, actual Steam Workshop mods, and they're going to be a lot more important and a lot more impactful because they're actually going to permeate in a more official sense. So maybe you're waiting for that before mods will really interest you, but I don't think there's any reason not to look at mods essentially just free, not as, well, important, but free little injections of extra stuff to do if you're feeling bored and want to use a Poogie as a sword. Or, I guess, download one of the 500 mods that edit female armor to be more revealing. Obviously, I only know about these for purely professional video making reasons. And then, of course, there is, well, the G rank question, right? Are we going to get a World Ultimate or just a big expansion, big DLC? How that all works is up in the air, right? There's a lot of arguments for and against, multitudes of ways of implementing it, but one thing that excites me about that possibility is the ability to fix something that I think is the saddest thing about World, and it's highlighted even more by playing GU recently. And that is the lack of variety of general shapes of monsters, right? Like, everything kind of fits into, what, one of 4 or 5 categories, as opposed to, like, the 20 or so general frames in the older games. And while that is, of course, a symptom of a, well, mass conversion to a whole new engine and getting to grips with that, they've done a fantastic job. I think expecting more was, quite frankly, unreasonable, but it is something that's going to be expected going forward. And the thing for me is the lack of Tier 1, Tier 2 extra new monsters, because everything we've gotten, bar Joe, is a new endgame challenge. And while I'm all for that, new Elder Dragons are amazing, of course they are. I dearly miss the less threatening, but arguably more interesting and fun little beasties, like the insects, the Celtices, the Nurskilla, Nurskyla, and the fuck-off spider, the Malfestio, the monkeys, the crabs, you know, the really unique chaps. And the only way we're going to get them and have them not be immediately meaningless getting mashed by endgame gear is to have them join in a G-Rank expansion where they'll actually be threatening as you progress through it and have to upgrade everything once more. So that coming together to fix 2 birds with 1 stone, the need for the next tier of difficulty and the need for an injection of variety, would be my ideal world. Get it? Ideal world. But world like they get an ideal world. I know! Layers! And I have, though, a kind of sinking feeling that we might not ever get an official G rank. We might just get harder and harder extras akin to Arch Tempered, but surely that will get ridiculous eventually. Either way, guys, that's my thoughts for today. I realize this is a lighter, shorter video than usual. I just wanted to talk about stuff and how I'm currently feeling about the future of the game we all love. And actually, Cotton has come over from Canada to stay for a while, so I've been getting him helped settled in, so I've not had as much time. So yeah, I do apologize that there wasn't anything meatier today, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless, and I genuinely want a discussion about really all the points I've made today from you guys, and really see what you all think, because you really are a fantastic audience. You really are, and I can never thank you enough for just simply choosing to watch my stuff. It means the world to me. Again, world! Oh! I used a word. Like you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. I'll see you tomorrow with hopefully the other Fated 4 Generations Ultimate Proof. Yeah! Goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.